the Gainesville Super Regional, where number 2 overall seed Florida hosts 15 overall seed South Carolina in an SEC battle. Florida had a bit of a struggle there in their own regional, going against Texas Tech in the second game and losing, but were able to make a bit of a run. And once they lost that game, there was no stopping them. They just completely dominated the next three and were able to make it to the Supers. South Carolina, completely different story. They were a team that has been struggling a lot down the stretch there at the end of the regular season, but turned it on completely in their own regional, dominating pretty much every team they faced, going 3-0. And looking like just completely better team than any other teams in their regional, even though they faced NC State and Campbell, very competent teams, especially that Campbell team was one that was just on the outside of hosting there. Probably, some say that they probably should have been a host, but they didn't get that opportunity and weren't able to show up super well in South Carolina because South Carolina just completely dominated the entire thing. So definitely a very interesting matchup in this Super Regional.
Yeah, I think this Florida team had one of the most impressive regionals from a team coming out of the losers bracket. They played 5 games and their pitching staff gave up 8 runs total. That is just crazy. I feel like that gives you a lot of confidence heading into the Super Regionals, just knowing you only have to give your pitching staff a couple runs of support to be able to make it through a game and get a win. And then on the other hand, South Carolina looks like they're back to the team that was potentially the number 1 team in the country for a bit. They cooled down to end the season. It looked pretty worrisome, but yeah, dominated this regional against some solid competition too. And they head back to Florida, where to a team they just swept a month ago. And so I think this is kind of the revenge story for Florida here. I think I got to go with Florida just with how their pitching staff played, and I'm not sure South Carolina is going to be able to take a second series against them this season.
Yeah, I think this is a really tough call here. Even though South Carolina did show up earlier in the season, like you mentioned, I think both these teams, were top 5 teams pretty much all over the board there for a while until South Carolina dropped off late. But when South Carolina's clicking, they can be the best team in the nation, and so can Florida. So it's really a coin flip. As a 15 seed, South Carolina, that is not what you want to see at this point if they're able to get that offense going like we saw in their regional there. So I think, probably lean Florida here, but if South Carolina's offense can stay as hot as they were, it's going to be a tough sledding for that Florida team.